Have you ever wondered why some absolutely brilliant startups just soar, while others, with ideas that seem just as good, never quite manage to get off the ground? It's a question that keeps a ton of entrepreneurs up at night. And the answer? Well, it often has less to do with the idea itself and more to do with the environment where that idea grows. And that's where this incredible concept comes into play, the business incubator. So let's dive into how they work. Yeah, it's a blunt question, right? But it gets straight to the heart of it. I mean, building something from literally nothing is a massive, massive challenge. It's filled with all these pitfalls that can stop even the most passionate founder dead in their tracks. So what are these hurdles, really? And more importantly, how do you get past them? All right, so here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with the big one, the startup survival problem. Then we'll introduce the solution, the business incubator. From there, we'll break down its core support system, see how it gives you a real competitive edge, and finally, look at how it just fuels growth and innovation. Okay, first things first, we need to set the stage. Every single new business is basically entering this high-stakes game where, let's be honest, the odds aren't always in their favor, especially right at the very beginning. And this is the fundamental challenge right here. Those first few years, they are the most vulnerable time for any new company. It's when your cash is tightest, nobody knows your brand, and every single little decision feels like it could make or break you. Without the right kind of support, this is where so many promising ideas unfortunately just fade away. So when you're facing an environment that tough, what's the solution? Well, this is where a truly fantastic concept comes into play, the business incubator. You can think of it as a dedicated support system, really, designed to help new companies not just survive, but actually thrive. So what is an incubator exactly? At its core, it's this structured program that's designed to just wrap a new business in everything it needs to win. It's not just one thing, but a really powerful mix of resources, expert guidance, and those critical connections, all with one goal, to dramatically increase the odds of success. I absolutely love this description, a nurturing ecosystem. It is the perfect way to think about it. See, instead of a founder trying to battle all the elements alone, an incubator creates this protective bubble, this environment where a startup is sheltered from the worst of it and given all the nutrients it needs to grow up strong. Okay, so what does this ecosystem actually look like on the inside? Let's break down the three most critical pillars of support that these incubators provide. This is really the engine room of the whole thing. You have these three key ingredients: funding, mentorship, and networking. They all work together to create this incredibly powerful foundation, and they address the biggest pain points that almost every founder runs into: money, know-how, and connections. Let's kick things off with funding, because that's usually the first and biggest hurdle. Incubators act as the super important bridge. They don't just give you a list of angel investors or VCs. No, they actively coach you on how to build a compelling proposal that actually gets that funding. Next up is mentorship, and honestly, this might be the most valuable piece of the whole puzzle. Just imagine having direct access to people who have already built successful companies. They've made the mistakes, they've learned the hard lessons, and now they can give you priceless advice on everything from your big picture strategy to your day-to-day marketing plan. And finally, networking. An incubator instantly plugs you into a ready-made community. All of a sudden, you're surrounded by other ambitious founders who are wrestling with the exact same challenges you are. And that environment, it's a total catalyst for collaboration, for sharing knowledge, and for getting those crucial intros to partners, customers, and investors. So, we've talked about survival, but incubators do way more than just keep a business afloat. They give it a genuine, measurable advantage in the marketplace. Let's take a look at how they help a startup build a real competitive edge. And this right here just lays it all out so clearly. When you're on your own, you're juggling crazy high costs and trying to build credibility from absolute zero. But inside an incubator, your costs drop because you're sharing resources like office space. You get instant validation just by being accepted. And all of that frees you up to stop worrying about the small stuff and focus on the one thing that really matters: growth. And on top of all that, there's this structured learning component. Incubators provide a steady diet of workshops and training programs. This is all about actively building the skills of the founders, turning them from passionate creators into effective managers and strategic leaders who actually know how to scale a business. So when you put all of these pieces together, the support system, the cost savings, the credibility, the new skills, what's the ultimate result? It's about hitting the accelerator hard. And this quote just nails it. It's not just about solving problems as they come up. It's about fundamentally changing a company's entire trajectory, pushing it to grow faster and achieve more than it ever could have on its own. When you step back and look at the big picture, the outcomes are just so clear and powerful. Yeah, startups get higher survival rates, but it goes way beyond that. They experience accelerated growth, and they operate in a culture that actually fosters real innovation. And ultimately, all that success contributes to the broader economy by creating jobs and new tech. It's a true win-win. And that brings us to one last big question. As we think about how we build the next generation of great companies, is this incubator model, with its intense focus on community and structured support, is this the blueprint for the future of innovation? It's definitely something to think about.